welcome to the third episode of Parcel. Just a quick recap of the global and domestic durum markets. My name is Sam Toll. Today I'm coming to you from our Moama office on the Victoria-New South Wales border. Unfortunately no paddock views today given both regional and Victoria and New South Wales obviously in lockdown. Up in the north in New South Wales, things have dried out a little over the last 4 or 5 weeks from obviously what has been a very wet winter. The crops have struggled with those conditions. Although in saying that, in the last 24 hours, the central west end and north New South Wales has received another 25-30 mil rain event, so things are obviously going to be wet up there again at the moment. The sowing window on durum is now closed. Looking at our supply numbers, we do believe, and feedback from growers is that durum planted hectares this year will be down quite considerably on last year, and that's purely an agronomic and rotational issue for most growers. And I think also just at a general level on milling wheats and durum wheat, we do expect to see protein levels well down on last year given it was such a huge crop in New South Wales. In the international side of things, particularly in North America, the drought conditions that everyone's been reading about over the last 2 months have continued right through into harvest. The USDA, I think they're suggesting the durum harvest is roughly 50-60% through. The quality actually and the yields have probably been a little bit better than what was expected, albeit yields are going to be well down year on year given those drought conditions. North up into Canada, the durum areas have been really hard hit by the drought conditions. Many industry analysts over there are suggesting production could be down as high as 30-40% year on year. I think last year the Canadians grew a 6.5 million tonne durum crop. This year the number is still unknown, but it could be as low as a 3.5-4 million tonne crop, which is a significant reduction given the Canadians are the world's biggest exporters of durum globally. In Europe, just quickly, they're well through their harvest at the moment, particularly in France at the moment, which is one of the big European producers. They have had wet conditions right through harvest, which has impacted on quality. So at the moment, we're seeing a bit of a double whammy of big production issues in North America and some big quality issues in Europe, which is obviously leading to what we're seeing in our domestic pricing here at the moment. On the flip side, on the demand side of things, we are sort of reading that pasta manufacturers are dealing with large inventories at the moment with the COVID situation. So we're seeing both those factors at play now, although in saying that, we do believe the prices will be well supported well into next year just with the current production situation. Our domestic durum values here at the moment are pretty much moving in lockstep with these global moves. I think when Jamie Maunder did our first recap back in mid-June, our prices since then have rallied pretty close to $100 a tonne, so it's been a significant step up really over the last 8 weeks, all due to production issues coming out of the Northern Hemisphere. Just quickly on prices today, our more east side in New South Wales, DR1 I think will be around a $420 mark, and delivered Newcastle prices for DR1 for a January to March delivery period they're around that $475 price. Just as a footnote, the DR2 and DR3 spreads are very tight this year from what we normally see, and again that's just purely reflecting the lack of actual global production of durum. That's basically all we have for today. We'll be back in mid-September for another durum wrap. Thanks for your time and have a good day.